Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So were you born to become a billionaire and you don't even realize it? I'm going to show you how you can use numerology to discover if you were born to become super wealthy today in this video. So we can use numerology to discover if you were born to become super wealthy, because in numerology there are certain numbers that resonate more with the frequency of wealth. And if you look at the charts of the most wealthy people in the world, many of them have these numbers in their chart in certain key places. And I'm going to show you the charts of some of the wealthiest people in the world at the end of this video so that you can see just how accurate this is at determining if you will become super wealthy one day. So yes, if you look at the charts of these people, you will definitely start to see a pattern of numbers that many of them have in their charts. And you might have these numbers in your chart as well and not even realize it. So what that means is that if you have these numbers in your chart, then there's a good chance that your soul signed up to experience what wealth and having wealth in this lifetime would be like. It's basically in your contract. It's something you signed up for. Now, you don't have to have these numbers in your chart to become wealthy. So I want everybody to know that first of all, right? I don't want people to become discouraged if they don't have these numbers in their chart, because we live on a planet where free will is the most important thing. So even if it's not in your soul's contract and it's something you didn't sign up for, you can still achieve it, right? So I want people to know that first. So don't get triggered if you don't have these certain numbers in your chart. So people that have these numbers in their chart, it just basically means that it's kind of like a life calling for them. It's something that they signed up for to experience before they were born. But if you don't have these numbers in your chart, you can still experience wealth and become super, super wealthy. You just have to take on the energy of the people that have these numbers. So they have these numbers in their chart, so they were born with a certain energy that is more likely to attract wealth. And so you can take on the energy of these numbers very easily and attract wealth very easily the way a lot of people with these numbers do. And I show you exactly how to do that in a video that I made called How to Use the Secret Power of Number 8 to Become Super Wealthy. So check out that video if you haven't seen it already. I'll put a link to it below in the description box. But there's more than one number that we look for to see if you signed up to become wealthy before you were born. And there are certain key places in your chart that we look for these numbers. Now I'm going to show you how to calculate a couple of these numbers right now. It's very quick and easy. You only need your date of birth and your full name. If you want to find out how to calculate the other numbers in your chart, then you can check out a video I did on how to calculate these numbers. It's very easy. I'll put a link to it below in the description box. If you already know the numbers in your chart, then you can skip to that part of the video. I'll put the timestamp for that right here. To calculate your life path number, you're going to take the month, day, and year of your birth and reduce each one of those to a single digit. And then you're going to take the three numbers that you get and add them together and keep reducing them until you get a single digit. Unless you get an 11, 22, or 33, and you don't reduce those because those are master numbers. And as you can see in this example, this person's life path number reduces down to a number 5. This is my preferred method for calculating your life path number, but you can also just take all of the numbers in your entire birth date and just add them straight across and keep reducing until you get a single digit as well, unless you get an 11, 22, or 33. To calculate your expression number, also known as the destiny number, you're going to take the first, middle, and last name on your birth certificate, or whatever name is written on your birth certificate, and you're going to find the corresponding numbers to each one of the letters in your name using the Pythagorean number system. And yes, I do use Pythagorean numerology. And yes, it's very important that you use the name that is written on your birth certificate. After you have found all of the corresponding numbers to the letters, you're going to take all of those numbers and add them together straight across and keep adding them together and reducing until you get a single digit. Unless you get an 11, 22, or 33, and those are master numbers and you don't reduce those numbers. To calculate your maturity number, all you have to do is take your life path number and your expression destiny number after you have calculated both of these and add these two numbers together. And after you've added your life path and expression numbers together, you're going to keep reducing until you get a single digit. Unless you get an 11, 22, or 33, and those are master numbers and you do not reduce them. So whatever number you get as your final number, that is going to be your maturity number. So here we have the billionaire numbers, 1, 4, 8, and master number 22. Now I'm going to show you exactly where to look for these numbers in your chart, but I want to briefly talk about why these numbers are the billionaire numbers first. And I'm also going to show you how you can use these numbers to figure out when exactly you might become wealthy. So make sure to watch the entire video because I'm going to go more into depth about that towards the end of the video when I show you the charts of some very well-known billionaires. But let's talk about why these numbers are the billionaire numbers first. If you want to skip to the part where I talk about where to look for these numbers in your chart, that starts at 10:01. 1 is a billionaire number because 1 in numerology is the number of the leader and it's the number of the trailblazer, right? The person who sets the trends, the person who does something first before everybody else, right? And so people with this number often tend to be very highly motivated and ambitious, and they often are entrepreneurs because of this. They want to start businesses or they want to start something, right, that nobody else has done before, something that's unique and individual. And 1 is ruled by the sun, right? And the sun is all about power and strength. And so this combination of confidence, ambition, and inventiveness, in addition to the fact that the 1 energy usually doesn't like to work for other people, they kind of like to be their own boss, and that often leads them to start their own businesses, become entrepreneurs, or to take really big risks in some sort of area, which can then turn them into very wealthy people. 4 is a billionaire number because, as I always say in so many of my videos, 4 is the hardest working number out of all of them, right? 4 is the number of work. And so often you will see that people with this energy sometimes will become workaholics because this number is really good at setting goals and working hard to achieve them. They also tend to be very good with organizing and planning, and they tend to be very practical too. And so because of this, the 4 energy has really good business skills, and people with the 4 energy will often start businesses or will go into other fields that are very lucrative and will be very successful at it. 8 is a billionaire number because, as I always say, 8 in numerology represents wealth, abundance, power, and status. And if you look at the number 8, it's the infinity sign, which represents infinite power and the connection between the physical and the spiritual world and the manifestation of things within the physical world through that connection with the spiritual world. So because of this, the 8 energy often has good leadership skills, management skills, and business skills as well. And people with this energy will often start businesses or take other really big risks, since this is a brave, risk-taking type of energy, and this can often turn them into very wealthy people. And by the way, with any of these numbers, you can experience the positives or the negatives of the numbers, and often the negatives are the exact opposite of the positives. So if you have these numbers, then you get to choose with your free will whether you experience the extremes of wealth or the complete opposite, which would be poverty. Master 22 is a billionaire number because it has the energy of the number 4, because it is a variation of the number 4. If you add the two twos together, you get a number 4. So it's got all of that hardworking 4 energy within it, but it's also a master number as well. And the master numbers do tend to be a little bit more connected to some of the other dimensions, and they can take this connection using the ideas that have been given to them and manifest those ideas into physical form into our physical world. So now let's talk about where to look for these numbers in your chart. And there are multiple placements, and they are in no particular order. But your chances of becoming super wealthy increase with the more of these placements you have. So the more of these you have checked off, then your chances will increase. So if your life path number or expression number, also known as the destiny number, or maturity number is a 1, 4, 8, or 22, then you have a good chance of becoming wealthy. And that's because the life path number is kind of like your main purpose in life. Your expression number, also known as the destiny number, is kind of like your destiny because it's kind of like a main goal that you will be trying to achieve your whole entire life. And your maturity number is who you become as you grow older. So those 3 are going to be the most important numbers to look for in your core chart. But you can also look to see if your soul's urge or birthday number is one of these 4 numbers as well, because the soul urge number is kind of the number that brings you a lot of happiness and joy in life and your soul's calling, and your birthday number is a specific gift or talent that's been given to you. But it doesn't just have to be one of those. If you see 1, 4, 8, or 22 appearing 3 or more times anywhere within your chart, right? It could be anywhere, not just your core numbers, but some of the less significant numbers as well. If you see it repeating itself 3 or more times, then that's also a really good sign that you could become wealthy. Now, if you notice that your chart has a combination of these numbers, so you might have other numbers as well, but you have a combination of these numbers anywhere within your chart, that could be a sign that you will become wealthy as well. Another really good indication is if 1, 4, 8, or 22 is one of your timing numbers, such as a cycle or a pinnacle or an essence number. And if it is one of these numbers, then that's most likely when it will happen for you and when you will become wealthy. And that's because the cycles are kind of like the main themes of your life, and the pinnacles are kind of like the seasons of your life. So if you don't know what your cycles and pinnacles are, check out a video that I did on how to calculate these. It's very easy. Also, keep watching for the end of the video when I go over the famous billionaires charts, because you can see in their charts exactly when most of these people became wealthy based on these timing numbers. And as I had mentioned before, your chances of becoming wealthy increase with the more of these things on this whole entire page that you have checked off. So now let's take a look at the charts of some famous billionaires. And please don't be triggered by the billionaires that I'm using as examples. You know, if there's one billionaire in particular that you don't really like, don't be triggered by that. You know, I'm not saying that this person deserves their wealth or they don't deserve their wealth. I'm just using them as examples to show you how accurate this is and where to look for these numbers within your own chart. And another thing too is you will notice that a lot of these people have the famous numbers within their chart as well. So you will see a lot of the famous numbers appearing here. If you want to find out if you have any of the famous numbers within your own chart that help to determine if you will become famous someday yourself, then check out my video on how to figure this out. I'll put a link to it below. So the first person we have here is Elon Musk. And he is the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. And at the time of the recording of this video, he is the wealthiest person on the planet. So let's find out, why did he become so wealthy? And if you look at his core chart, his maturity number is a number 1, right? The maturity number is who you become as you grow older. He's become more like that one entrepreneur leadership type of energy. And not only that, he has 3 1s repeating in his chart, right? And this is not even his full chart. There's a lot of other numbers as well, but just in the ones that I have listed already, we see that number 1 appears 3 times. And Elon made his first million between the years 1999 to 2000. And as you can see, it was around that time that he entered not only a one cycle, but a one pinnacle as well. And Elon made his first billion in 2012. And if you look down at the pinnacles, in 2012, he was in an 8 pinnacle. So he was in a one cycle and an 8 pinnacle when he became a billionaire. Now, what gets even more crazy is if you drop down and look at the essence numbers. So in 2018, he entered an 8 essence. And the pinnacles are kind of like the seasons of your life, by the way. So we all have 4. The essences are kind of like the pinnacles, but they are calculated from the transits within your name. So he's currently in an 8 essence right now, and he's been in an 8 essence ever since 2018. And it was in 2021 that he became the wealthiest person on the planet, according to Forbes.com. So he started to become the wealthiest person on the planet, right? Started to make his way there while being in an 8 essence, in an 8 pinnacle, and a 1 cycle. And he actually became the wealthiest person on the planet while being in an 8 essence and a 1 cycle. So you can't make this stuff up. There's a reason why he ended up becoming so wealthy. It's because he had all of this energy going on for him. So the next person is Bernard Arnault, and he is a French businessman, and at the timing of the recording of this video, the 3rd wealthiest person on the planet, according to Forbes.com. And his life path number is a 4. But in addition to that, his expression number, which is also known as the destiny number, is a number 8. Also, he was born in an 8 pinnacle too, so that helped him out a lot. And by the way, he is currently in an 8 pinnacle right now. Let's look at Oprah Winfrey's chart. And Oprah is a well-known American billionaire, and her life path number is also a number 4. And by the way, she has a karmic debt attached to her life path number. She is a 13-4 karmic debt. And Bernard Arnault also has this karmic debt as well. So if you have a 13-4 karmic debt, don't really think of it as a debt. It's actually more of a blessing, because a lot of people with this karmic debt end up becoming very wealthy people. Check out my video on karmic debts. I'll put a link to it below. But Oprah made her first million in 1986, around the time that her 1 cycle was coming to an end. And in addition to that, she made her first billion around the year of 2002 to 2003, and it was around that time that she was in a 4 essence. And on top of that, she was also having an 8 personal year around that time as well. And so sometimes people will become very wealthy during a 1, 4, 8, or 22 personal year number as well. And she started to become even more wealthy and grow her wealth even more around the time that she entered an 8 essence in 2009 and on. So she has just been accumulating wealth ever since then. And lastly, we have Richard Branson, who is another well-known billionaire because of Virgin Atlantic. And his life path number is a master number 22. And take a look, he made his first million in 1973, and it was around that time that he entered a 4 pinnacle. And he made his first billion in 1991. And so when he became a billionaire, he was in a 4 pinnacle, and it was around that time that he had entered into an 8 essence, and in addition to that was having an 8 year. So as you can see, sometimes it's just part of the person's plan and destiny for them to become wealthy, but don't get discouraged if you don't have these numbers in your chart, because anybody can become wealthy. You just have to take on the energy of these numbers. That's really all you have to do. And there's a lot of wealthy people that have done that, right? And they don't have these numbers in their chart, but they've taken on the energy of these numbers. And I show you exactly how to do that in my video about how to use the secret power of the number 8 to become very, very wealthy, no matter who you are and what numbers you have in your chart. So make sure to check out that video. I'll put a link to it below. So let me know in the comments below if it turned out you were born to become wealthy. Did you have any of these numbers in your chart? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. If you want to get a personal reading with me, I will put that information below in the description box. And I would love to have you subscribe and to become part of the family. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.